It's like if Halloween Express already had like the costumes and everything for Beetlejuice, and they just used those, but they look great, but they're like high end. You know what I mean? I mean it as a compliment. Weirdly,
no. I really like that. Beetlejuice? Oh, AJ's not here.
God dang it.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Confused Breakfast. It is a brunch, and if you're new to this show, we review classic movies from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. We talk about it nostalgically. We give it a modern-day rating. But not many, sometimes, few times, we go to a new movie.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. And it usually has to do with that new movie having something to do with a movie from the past.
Yeah, we did Top Gun Maverick.
We did Matrix, the fourth Matrix.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
That's about it. That's all the newer movies we've ever seen, to be honest.
We don't watch new movies unless they're sequels to something from the past.
Yeah.
So like, some brand new movie coming out, we're not going to watch it.
I don't really care about the Last Crusade.
No.
I don't know what's out right now.
In fact, we don't know what's out because all we do is watch old movies for this show.
Yeah.
But the second episode that we ever recorded was Beetlejuice OG, 1988, I think it is. And so when the rumors start flying over the last, almost 30 years are we talking about now? Are we almost on 40 years now? Yeah,
somewhere
Jesus.
around there.
And everybody's always like, oh, there's going to be a Beetlejuice 2. We're going to do it. When it finally happens, we got to go see it on open night, and we got to talk about it.
Yes.
So we went and saw Beetlejuice tonight. You're maybe hearing this on Friday. We went and saw it on Thursday. And unfortunately, we might as well talk about it. AJ showed up, watched about the first 20 minutes, and then inexplicably got up, walked out, and we haven't heard from him. So
he got up and he put his hands on his hips and said, and then walked out.
I think he even put down his popcorn and then kicked it.
Yeah.
And we thought it was like a joke or something. Like, oh, he's trying to do his Beetlejuice impression.
He's doing a bit.
There he goes.
He's good at it. He's good at it.
And there he is. Look at his lowly headphones right there. There's no microphone. So it is just Mike and Sean. We do got producer Logan in here that also went and saw the movie.
The tomato meat. Oh, no, not that.
Well, let's talk about it. So
do we have it?
The tomato meter currently is a 77 right now from critics, and the newly named popcorn meter, which is audiences, that is an 87, and the IMDb is at a 7.2. Are we spoilers? We're not spoilers. What are we doing here? Just for anybody that maybe hasn't seen it yet.
I think we'll go for a while with no spoilers, and maybe head in that territory once we're done, kind of giving our thoughts.
But
that feels good, like a top level thought overview.
But also, let me ask you this: would you really spoil this movie for someone? What would you ever say that you're going to spoil it?
Some bits here and there, maybe some cameos.
Okay.
That's probably it.
Yeah. Okay. So overall excitement level going into it, Sean. Were you pretty pumped to see this one?
Well, just to get it out there, AJ's sick, so that's why.
Yeah. Sorry, he was sick. He goes. Actually, is this the first time we've in almost 4 years now that we've not all three been in for a recording for an actual episode recording?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Well, if that tells you anything.
Freaking sickness, man. Beetlejuice.
I've been vying for this spot for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
He kind of slid in, and we're
feeling it out.
We're feeling it out.
The audience will be the judge. The tomato meter on Logan.
Right. That off-brand John Krasinski.
Yeah,
like they call me. That's good.
Yeah, I you always heard the rumblings of this sequel coming out, and every time, maybe every month or so, you'd get on Facebook or start scrolling and you'd see like, oh, Beetlejuice 2 coming out this time next
there'd
year.
be a sick poster too, always.
But it's a fake poster.
Yes.
And so you get all that shit, and they've done that for so many movies that have just like need a legacy sequel or have had those rumors before. And I am one of those people who's just like, I don't care. Like I will see it when it comes out, probably. But for Beetlejuice, I like Beetlejuice a lot. I like it. I like that as a movie. I like Tim Burton's movies a lot. We did Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I loved that movie.
Yep. You still got to see Big Fish.
Yeah. I haven't got through it yet. But for Beetlejuice, I like that movie a lot. And it's not like I know there's a huge fan base out there for it, but I am not one of those people. I passively like that movie,
I just don't think there's a movie out there where I'm clamoring to have someone like remake it or add a legacy sequel to it. Like when there is a movie that gets beyond 10 years, like it's too old to do this. Like the time has passed to do Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
But finally now we have it, and it's just like it's never going to live up to anyone's expectations that has been wanting this for 40 years.
Right.
If my overall thought on this movie is that if you enjoy fun times and you want to go to the theater with your friends and you want to enjoy a Beetlejuice specialty cocktail like I did
for $17.
Yeah, and they had an umbrella in it, and it was good.
It was good?
Oh, it was very good.
How much liquor was in there? Like that much?
I felt it. Let's just put it that way. Like
okay,
I got it to go to the bathroom using my run pee time, and I was like, whoa.
I saw you get up, and I'm like, is this?
It's a run pee time.
Is this the run pee time?
You use the app?
It's called Run Pee Time, and it's the greatest thing.
You missed the part where he did it was a whole explosion. Remember that? Like that was like one of the best parts.
No, it tells you exactly what happens on the Run Pee Time.
And there was that cameo.
Yeah, there was that crazy cameo in there.
Yeah.
That I think it was what's his name who plays Adam in the first one.
Yeah.
He shows up. Baldwin.
Sure. Sure he does.
Yeah,
I would have known about that.
Right.
No, I just don't think you're ever, if you're going into something like this expecting the original, and this is not just Beetlejuice, this is anything that has ever done this.
Yeah.
You're not going to get it, and that's when you're going to be let down. And I've heard a lot of negative thoughts about this movie, and that's because I think they're going, yeah, we're going to finally get it. No, you're not ever going to get an original Beetlejuice.
I wonder what, because we were in a theater with people and like a group of people that were like in back of us who were all dressed up, like as Lydia and Beetlejuice and all their favorite characters and everything like that. I wonder what they think, because they seem like a fan of just Beetlejuice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
the character Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah, and then. But I wonder. I bet they loved it.
Can I jump in there real quick?
Yeah.
Because we took my wife Marnie, who is a diehard Beetlejuice fan, and like watched the cartoon like Saturday mornings. Like that was her morning, and she talked to me a little bit about that afterwards. And her thoughts were very similar to yours, which is that like and to mine, which is that I don't think this is a great movie. As a movie, it's not a great movie. But there were a lot of things that were great as a Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah.
A lot of moments, a lot of jokes. She said there were a lot of references to the cartoon and to other Beetlejuice things that they put in, like little Easter eggs and references and stuff that worked really well. So I think if you're a diehard Beetlejuice fan, there's still stuff to love.
And I can only imagine that this will actually be better on the second watch.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of those movies where they did really go pretty quickly over some things that I think you're going to pick up on more on the second watch.
Yeah, I mean, because the pace of the first one's really fast too, especially when Michael Keaton gets on board.
This just felt like segment. And it was just like bam, bam, bam. I don't think if you've never seen Beetlejuice, you're gonna hate this movie. This is not a movie. This does not live on its own. Top Gun Maverick could live on its own.
Sure.
It does everything it ever needed to do to be the sequel you wanted, but also to live on its own. This doesn't live on its own.
Is that one of the few legacy sequels that actually worked?
I think so. I mean, I got to be honest. I think that this one does work, and in the way that it simultaneously does like fan service, which I'm not precious to this IP. And so I'm not either like thrown off by the fan service or like they're just doing that for fan service. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a reference to the first one. That's fine. It's the same world. But what also this movie has is that it's really funny,
dude.
Like I found myself genuinely chuckling at a lot of jokes. I mean, you have Catherine O'Hara in a movie. It's you're gonna make me laugh.
Can we just say it? I mean, like, she was the best.
I think so.
I think Catherine O'Hara was the best person in the movie.
You know, and Justin Theroux, man, like
Justin Theroux.
that was
the boyfriend.
Rory.
Rory. Okay, yeah, he was pretty good.
I loved him. I wanted him to like even kind of go a little further with it, but I still loved his presence, and his character was super funny to me.
He sort of did the like, oh yeah, he's pretty funny. Okay, like yeah, come on, this is too much. This is really funny. Like it sort of did the dip where he was sticking around too long.
Yeah.
To where he got funny again.
Yeah.
In a way, like he had a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
A lot of screen time.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm more on the side of you guys where like I think it's a fine movie. I think it's a fun time to go see it in the theater. Definitely go see it in the theater if you're wanting to go see it. But I was a little kind of taken aback by how much I just did enjoy it. Like, because I always fear these kind of legacy sequels because they seem like lower budget a lot of the times, and they seem like the cast that comes back is just like, obviously they're older, but their spirit doesn't seem into it at all. And I gotta say, the entire cast, it was just like they did not miss a step.
Yeah.
They seemed like they were right in right away.
Winona Ryder looked as beautiful as ever.
Yeah.
Like she was perfectly summing up her old character now grown up.
Yeah.
I think the only complaint I have is that I wish they would have done this sooner, though, is that like I'm one of the biggest Michael Keaton fans. I love him and everything he does, but I felt his age a lot in this to where the lines just weren't quite. The dictation wasn't quite there the way it was almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, but it was still funny, and he was still Beetlejuice. He's Beetlejuice. But like it just wasn't as good as of a performance as he was in the original.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, and we have to say too, like the original is pretty raunchy.
Completely.
You know, like he's a scumbag in the original, but like obviously, kind of today time, you have to kind of tone that down a little bit, I guess.
I feel like they found a few moments for that.
Yeah.
But I felt like those moments were a little jarring because
like the soul sucker.
Well, because they haven't
those jokes.
They didn't structure the movie to support that, right? Like they had backed off of the raunchiness a significant amount. So when those moments did come through, you were like, oh,
yeah,
geez,
yeah.
All right, great.
I'll tell you what, it had a great fall Halloween vibe to it, like really well done.
It cemented itself. I was like, I will revisit this in Halloween for sure.
It's an automatic must watch for the next couple months now.
Yeah.
Like if you're thinking about it, like, and you're a Halloween fan, yeah, go ahead and watch it.
I would imagine it should be out streaming or at least maybe DVD, Blu-ray by October.
Yeah,
hopefully. But yeah, I mean, it's those vibes are drenched in this movie, and I love that aspect of it.
What about I guess I'm a little bummed, and I understand why, but if we're talking about a true legacy sequel, like I want everybody. Yeah. I want everybody there. And I know, like, I'm not privy to the news, but I mean, is Jeffrey Jones not, there's some bad stuff going on with him? Like, is he dead, or is he?
I think he is dead.
He's a pedophile now or something like that?
I think he was accused of allegedly some of that. I don't know if it's proven or not, but there is that. I mean, like, I was kind of surprised by having his likeness in it.
No, he's still alive.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's still alive. What happened with Jeffrey Jones? Arrested twice for failing to update his sex offender status. Yeah, okay. So clearly you're not putting Jeffrey Jones in the movie, and that's fine. They have a nice way of getting around that. But you can't do this without without Baldwin and Gina Davis, like the Maitlands. I at least wanted something.
I think, and
I don't know if that's a spoiler, but
we're in spoiler territory.
But at this point, you're looking at the cast; they're not on there. I did that, and I'm like, well, they're not in there.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, spoiler territory. They're not in this movie. But that would have been an awesome cameo. I think, if that could have worked.
I know Alec Baldwin's going through some stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Well,
He's got some legal stuff to deal with.
But
Gina
that's,
Davis could have
oh my
definitely.
God. And they do a good job of making it its own story, but at the same time, I want everybody. I want them.
Mm-hmm. I do kind of feel one probably kind of minor gripe, if I'm scratching the surface on anything, is the inclusion of Jenna Ortega as Lydia's daughter.
Yep.
What's her name? Her name is Astrid.
Yeah, pretty bad name.
Her
Watch
inclusion,
out for a bunch of Astrids to show up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Baby names coming here soon.
Her inclusion, I think, is definitely, I could see it on the wall, kind of definitely to get the younger crowd in.
Yeah.
Everyone loved her in Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves her in general, no matter what. Now,
she's the next generation's Winona Ryder, though.
Yeah, definitely. She's taken that mantle, and I don't argue with it. You know?
Yeah, her whole vibe fits this movie perfectly.
Oh yeah, Sabrina Carpenter video she was just in.
Was she?
Yeah.
So good. Yeah,
yeah, it's really good. Actually, kind of calling back to a lot of horror movies, like Death Becomes Her and stuff. But I could kind of see that as of just to try to get the younger people in here who maybe aren't as familiar with.
And that's okay.
Yeah,
we do want younger generation. I'm going to show my daughters Beetlejuice someday. You want them to get on board with this, so this is a good way to do it. But also, if they've never seen the original, I don't know what they're going to think about this movie.
Yeah, true. Well, you could show them a little younger than you could probably the first one.
Yeah, maybe
this one. Yeah,
I feel like. Okay, can we get into this real quick? This conversation. I feel like you guys are being pretty gentle with this movie, which I think is really funny. I don't.
But I liked it. I really did. I liked it.
I liked it. I also liked it. I really liked the Beetlejuice of it, right? But my big frustration with the movie is I feel like structurally this movie struggles. It feels a little bit like 3 movies sewn together. All of Jenna Ortega's scenes feel like they're scenes from a different movie, especially in the first half. Right? They're a lot slower. They're these intimate moments with this boy that she's met that she they're structured differently. And then there's the Michael Keaton movie, right? Where there's this whole ex of his that's in the movie too. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah, we need to talk about
the Willem
that.
Dafoe characters in there, and it's fast.
There is a
and
lot of characters.
And then there's
the first one didn't have much.
No,
it was the
much
Maitlands
tighter.
and it was the family.
Yeah.
And then obviously everyone in the spirit world, but that was it.
Right. And then there's the Winona Ryder movie, right, which is just also slow and kind of it feels like it's lagging because of what it has to do to explain what happened since the first movie. So it's just I feel like the beginning of this movie was also really slow because it had to set up so much.
Yeah.
All these characters, all these things. I feel like once the Beetlejuice happens and Michael Keaton's in there, then it starts to speed up and things are happening and the characters come together. But I don't know.
That's kind of the way the first one was, though, too. I remember rewatching it for when we reviewed it 18 billion years ago.
Yeah.
That we were kind of talking, having a good time, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, they're great.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Michael Keaton comes on, it's just the movie is on a treadmill and it's going 200 miles an hour, man. And then when he leaves, it dips down a little bit, but it tries to keep that pace up. And then when he comes back on, obviously he's back. But I do agree with you in the fact that there is a lot of characters, and I almost throughout the movie was not wanting to return to so many of them, or not trying to have my mind keep up. I'm like, okay, Willem Dafoe's this guy. Okay.
Willem Dafoe. I forgot
why is
about
he
him.
here? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's the cop thing, I guess. But
and also he was great.
Amazing.
I loved the moments.
He's
that he
in
was
every movie ever made now. Any new movie, he's gonna be in it. It's crazy the work he's doing.
We are in a Willem Dafoe renaissance for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. You're absolutely right. My main gripe of the movie is that there's too many people, and most of them storyline makes no sense and has no reason to be there.
Yeah.
The soul sucker really serves no purpose.
Not at all.
There's absolutely no reason for her to be in this movie.
Just to have Monica Bellucci in it, like looking like Catherine Zeta-Jones, in the Wednesday or the Addams Family kind of thing.
Even the boyfriend subplot kind of thing, like meh.
It was sweet and cute. Like it did deserve like me caring about it, I think.
Right.
But then they're like, okay, that's done.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, okay, well, yeah, it is done.
He sucks. Get him out of here.
But the like Monica Bellucci thing, I'm just like, as soon as that kind of arc ended, I'm like, what was that? What did we do that for? Like, there really was no point. It was actually just to get Beetlejuice to do something for Lydia.
But was it? Like, even then, you're like, I don't even know if it made him do anything.
Because he's usually just kind of like on his own agenda and doing his own thing. And his own thing is wanting to marry Lydia.
But now something is coming for him, kind of a thing.
Yeah. And so
I felt
Lydia
like
can help him out.
There was like some sort of edit of this movie, not even edit, but there was a version of the script where Willem Dafoe's character and the ex-wife, I can't remember her name,
just Soul Sucker, I guess.
Soul Sucker character,
Dolores.
They weren't in there.
Thank you.
And they were like, "There's not enough afterlife in this movie. We need characters from the afterlife to give us more."
And then they gave us too many.
And then, well, it's too much on top of the Jenna Ortega storyline, on top of the Winona Ryder storyline, on top of what Michael Keaton's got. Like, it's just too much.
The best part about the first one was that when they were in the afterlife, like, it creeps you the fuck out. Because it was just like, God, what's going on? Like, I don't want to be here. I didn't feel that way in this one. Whenever they were in the afterlife, I was like, oh, yeah.
It was fun and cheery.
And cheery and quirky. And it felt terrifying in the first one.
Yeah.
And this one didn't so much.
This movie was very funny.
Yeah.
It had a lot
So
of
is the
great
first
funny
one.
moments. Yeah.
So is the first one, but the first one's also very creepy.
Yeah, this one wasn't.
It definitely keeps that air of like death is funny,
Yeah.
Or death is quirky, as Tim Burton is like the master of pretty much.
If you commit suicide, you become a civil servant.
Yeah,
in the afterlife,
you're
like
a
that
bureaucratic
kind of stuff.
civil servant. Yeah. Well, speaking of all of the like the death world, I guess what we call it. Is there a name? Purgatory-ish kind of thing. The design of it is still fantastic, and maybe even just like updated Burton from the 80s. Like the shrunken head guys,
They're so good.
They look great, and you fall in love with one of them.
I don't understand that.
Like, you really do. I think all the makeup and everything is just like kind of, I don't know. I think it's there, and it's gonna sound like a diss, I guess, or like a criticism, but it's like if Halloween Express already had like the costumes and everything for Beetlejuice, and they just use those, but they look great, but they're like high end. You know what I mean? I mean it as a compliment. Weirdly,
No. I really like that. So you're saying that the owner of Halloween Express waited for Beetlejuice to come out, then wrote down everything that he saw in the movie, got in a time machine, went back in time, and then designed those costumes from memory, and then released them before the movie came out.
Yeah, and they're like,
And then the movie like got those costumes and used them in the movie.
we have to use this guy as our costume designer. They look great, No, they
a really good way to put it.
They look like, I don't know. They look more of a kind of dumbed down, like maybe more of like a kiddie version of what the Beetlejuice, the original one did, where those looked really crude. Like the smoking guy was just like all fucking burnt to hell. These ones look a little bit more, I guess, accessible to a more broader audience.
Yeah. And great. Always love the ways that people die. That's such a great imagination thing. Like the lady with the javelin through her. She's clearly was a scorekeeper at the Olympics, and a javelin went through her throat. The guy in the box that couldn't get out, the magician.
Yeah.
That's always been one of my favorite things of this, and they kept doing it in this one. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this movie has so much personality too, like just building upon that idea. Even in the way that they created it, right? There's like the claymation scene where he dies, right? There's like the black and white throwback to Beetlejuice's early days when he meets his
That was pretty
his
good.
wife. There's like the sandworm was like almost like a fabric-y type material was made that was almost like a stop motion thing. Like they just played around a lot with that, and those were the things that really stood out to me that felt very Beetlejuice.
If
and
they
felt very
wouldn't
special.
have gotten Tim Burton back on this, it would have been a major disaster.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been disaster of epic proportions because he
doubt-
has to be on board with this.
I doubt the cast would even be
Yeah.
signed on to it, you know.
And Elfman, clearly, I felt like the music was changed a bit. I mean, it was Danny Elfman, and it was the original themes of Beetlejuice, but it sounded different. So I wonder if they
I'm sure.
re-recorded, changed it, modernized a couple things. But that's Beetlejuice for me, is the music, and there's a few fun callbacks of classic songs from the original one. There's just some funny overdubs of voice overdub, them singing, a few people singing in it. It was very fun. It's literally the definition of a 7.2 for me. Like it's not a set, like a 7's a good movie. 7.2 is like, that was a little better than a good movie. Like I enjoyed it and I will watch it again. And I just caution anybody out there, like don't go into it thinking you're about ready to see Beetlejuice. Like you're not going to.
You're gonna get back into the world and you're gonna feel comfortable back into that world again. It's just not, it's what you loved about Beetlejuice probably won't be there other than it just being Beetlejuice, if that makes sense. I mostly agree with you. We're just like, that's a 3.5 star movie.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah. I mean, I will definitely revisit it. I won't be clamoring to, you know, I won't be like,
yeah, we're not banging down the door to go see it immediately afterwards.
Yeah. No, I mean, I saw it once and I'm just like, yeah, that was fun. Had a good time.
Where compare it to like Top Gun Maverick, like I immediately kind of was like, I need to go back to the theater. I think I need to rewatch that because it was really good. You know, like in this one, and I think you should go see it in the theater. There's an air of a bit of camaraderie that was in the theater today. Like it was a little louder than normal during the credits or the opening scenes and the prequels and stuff, and which it's like, okay, cool. These are good people. They're having fun. People were in costume, like you said. I brought two of my old high school friends. We go to see movies here and there, and they both, I thought they were gonna hate it. And they both turned to me and they're like, that was awesome. I'm like, cool. All right. And they both just said like, that was funny. It was hilarious. It was funny. There were some good jokes. It moved quickly. And I thought it was really funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What did Marnie think?
I think Marnie, I would guess Marnie probably give it a 3.5, somewhere in there. I think it's the similar things. She really loved the Beetlejuice of it. She liked those little Easter egg moments. At the very end, she was like the red car they're driving. When they're at the very end of the movie is a callback to the car she drove in the cartoon.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Little moments. She loved those things.
Yep.
We talked about like, the pacing of the movie is a little wonky, and hey, the structure here, and there's some plot holes that maybe we shouldn't think about too much, but like it's fun, right? I don't know if I'll watch this movie outside of the context of the first one. Mm-hmm. Like I would watch them back to back as like, we're gonna do this thing, Halloween or whatever. But like if it's on like TNT or something, I don't know that I would stop and watch it.
Sure,
but. Or if I'm just looking for that vibe again, right? Like it's a very particular type of style. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she liked it, and I agree. Seeing in the theater is totally worthwhile. I had Marnie on one side, and I had Cale Henderson, a friend of ours, on the other side. And every time he would laugh, I would laugh, just because that's like what you do.
It's that communal experience.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be sitting on my couch in my living room, like,
yeah. I guess that was funny.
Right. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do know, I did talk to Cale on the way out, and he did not like it.
He didn't?
He did not like it. He said it was, like he agreed that many of the characters were just like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Yeah.
But Cale was also imbibing.
Yes.
And so maybe it just didn't mesh well.
Not enough flashy.
Or too
stuff.
Much.
Maybe.
Or not enough. I don't know.
He didn't have the Beetlejuice drink.
No, and that was
signature
really
drink.
good. It was very good.
Hey, if you get that, you're probably going to like it. Because you invested $17 more.
You
on
gotta.
top of your
You
ticket.
gotta. I'm already 35 deep just from one drink and a ticket, so I better love this.
Greg Marcus, you're promoting that your bars have great sports lounge vibes, and you just go in your theaters and grab a beer. But you had the first Thursday night game on one TV.
One TV. This is a conscious effort, right? At this point now, because now it's called the Marcus Tavern, or the Movie Tavern.
Yeah,
they're trying to get people to just go, like me and Sean, be like, "Hey, Sean, just got off work. What? Yeah, you get off work? Hey, let's go get a drink. Yeah, sounds good. Where do you want to go? Let's go to Marcus Theaters. Oh, I don't have time for a movie. No, I know. No, we're not going to a movie. We're just going to go to the bar that's in the movie theater because my favorite sports team's playing.
Oh, okay.
And instead of going to Buffalo Wild Wings or cocktails, we're going to go to Marcus
local
Theater
place,
or whatever.
Yeah,
or home.
I get it. I mean, and I'll tell you what, Marcus Theaters, man. I've probably been to, let's call it 20 movies in the last 5-6 years since that's been a Marcus.
Yeah.
Never once has anyone asked me to see a ticket.
Yeah.
Never once.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we just walked in today. We had tickets. You had purchased them.
I've always bought tickets,
Yeah.
but how do they know that I don't have a ticket? Can't you
good
literally
question.
just walk in there?
I think the only way they would ever know is if your theater was full and you were
Right.
in someone's seat.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry about that. Oh,
Yeah.
E6. Oh, F6.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I will say that, we've in Cedar Rapids anyway, we've had that theater for a while, and they get more movies that I like than probably any other theater would. Like the other theater that we had is no longer. They wouldn't get movies like Cuckoo or Long Legs even probably. So I do commend Greg Marcus for that. And maybe I'll have a beer in your tavern.
Well, and their revival of bringing back all these old we saw Halloween there.
Yeah.
They're showing so many old movies that look. Blazing Saddles is playing. I just looked it up. I mean,
something was playing last night, but then I was gonna take my wife to Rear Window, Hitchcock's Rear Window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to see that.
You can see the Ghibli films. They do that every
Yeah.
year. They show the anime movies, but they'll also do the opera, right? And they'll do theatrical productions,
Hindi
as well.
movies. Yeah.
Yep. So I commend them for doing that, and I think they do a good enough job. It's a good experience. I enjoyed our experience, but I guess I don't go.
well, yeah. I mean, we're busy. Hey, did you know they do mystery movies? Okay, so every month, the Marcus Mystery Movie gives you the chance to catch a super secret hush-hush sneak peek at a new movie. We can't tell you the titles, but for $5 you can get in and just
I did hear that.
and just
It's
see
got
what it is.
it's got to be something that's PG.
It has to be, right?
Has to be.
Well, those are usually that's their version of letting everyday people see screeners.
Oh, okay.
Is what I had heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're actually seeing
Wait,
movies
really?
that come out sometimes. I don't know, but that's what I had heard.
Huh.
Is that you can see movies
Yeah, because a friend of
week or two
mine,
early.
a friend of mine saw this yesterday on a Wednesday,
Yeah,
and I'm like, they don't do that a lot.
I think this did have early open
Really,
screenings.
motherfucker.
It was out yesterday, but I think he had band practice.
I have been practiced today.
Oh, then we could have gone yesterday.
Whoops. I will say about it too is it's an hour. Beetlejuice, by the way, is an hour 44 minutes, and it. I wouldn't say that it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like longer, but it felt just packed.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying with the characters, it just felt really, really packed. And I'm like, hang on, wait, okay, wait. But I will say also that this, my wife and I were sitting next to each other, and she's like, "How did you see how long this was?" And I'm like, "Fuck, no, I didn't. This could totally be 2 hours and 10 minutes." You know what I mean?
145 is okay.
I'm surprised to hear it was 145. I felt like it was longer.
You did?
But
I
again,
felt like it was shorter actually. I
not
felt
in a negative way. I just felt like, I must have been there for a couple of hours because so much happened.
Sure.
Yeah, to your point.
when you're using the Run P Time app, not that we're sponsored by them because we aren't, but typically they're going to give you 4 different times where they're like this, when this person says this or you see this, get up and go, and it ranks them in the best, nothing happening over the next 3 to 4 minutes. And then when you go there, it tells you what's happening. Oh, so-and-so's talking to so-and-so, and it's really boring. Most movies will have at least 2 to 3 scenes that are very boring. This movie was we had trouble. We had trouble finding any moment that you didn't need to see. And the one that I went on, there was that big old dance number, the choreography, and they're like, yeah, it's really good, but this is about your only chance.
Is that the Soul Train?
Yeah, the Soul Train thing.
Yeah.
So, it was really packed. I just think there's too many characters, which is why it felt so packed. They had to hurry up and get all these people in the scenes. That's not, if you would have paid me money to come up with of what Beetlejuice 2 script would have been, that's nowhere where I would have gone with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a weird, that's what you came up with for the idea? I feel like they could have had a better idea of why they're back together on screen again. But it worked, and I enjoyed it, and I think my wife will want to see it. I'll definitely be telling like my dad and my brother, they'll probably want to see it too. So 7.2, really.
I mean, even
roughly.
Along with the cast too, like Tim Burton, along with some of the cast, I'll say it, Tim Burton doesn't seem like he's really aged behind the camera.
No.
Like the movie has a lot of energy when it needs to have a lot of energy. There's a lot of his aesthetic obviously is all over this movie, but like even his camera movements and stuff, it's just like he's still being inventive. He's still wanting to like tell a story with a camera visually and be flashy with it, and I really appreciate that about that, because maybe some older directors would just be like, just put the camera, just do a 2-shot.
Fine.
So I do appreciate that he is just like, he went full bore on this.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, it's I think you should definitely go see it in the theater for sure. I'm right around with you. I'm about 7.2 as well.
Yeah. Don't just temper your expectations. I mean, I can see why people are like, yeah, it was a bad movie. Like, I get it, but also like it's really hard to do this. That's why not many people do these kind of legacy sequels, because you're very rarely going to nail it.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It'd be like us quitting and then starting a new podcast, The Confused Breakfast. Like it's after 36 years, like, are we really going to be able to nail it? Probably not.
The educated lunch.
Educated lunch. 36 years later, talking about movies that came out today.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it.
What would you rate it, Logan?
Below a 7, but not far below. I'm thinking like somewhere in like a 6.6 maybe,
okay,
or a 6.7.
That's fair.
Like and I want to be clear because I feel like I was the most critical on it, but I think that's just because it was like those couple big criticisms.
Yeah.
But this movie is a good Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah.
It's super fun, great in the theater, style for days. And some of these actors, like, I don't know that I got a lot out of Willem Dafoe's character being in the film from a story standpoint, but every time he was on screen, I was eating it up.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, those
he
things
didn't need
were
to
great.
be there, but I'm glad he was.
I was so glad he was. So, yeah, I think it's a good time. I think that's, like, for me, a 6.5 to 7, let's say 6.75.
Cool.
Right? That feels good. I know we're not doing an official thing.
It's not official.
No.
But did you guys have props that you wanted that stuck out?
no.
Good question.
I didn't.
I know I'm ambushing you with the question, but those are the things that I love about Confused Breakfast.
I want.
And if I get to be AJ for a night, I want to know what your props.
I want everything to do with Bob.
Oh my God, yeah, Bob was great.
I just want like a statue of Bob in my house.
I feel like Bob is a prop.
Yeah.
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 Which one? Who's Bob?
Bob was the stand-in for Beetlejuice.
Oh
He's
God.
like his
Okay.
bodyguard.
Yes. Oh man. Yeah. That's what I want. I want anything to do with him too. He was the best. The fact that he maybe got the loudest kind of emotion elicited from probably the entire movie tells you a lot. And I was just looking through the cast again. There was a lot of people that had smaller roles that I was seeing if maybe I recognized anybody, and I don't really. But there was a couple callbacks with like the Butterfield, the realtor. Like that was kind of a nice touch to have that involved, because remember we just listened to our old Beetlejuice episode and we were making fun of the little girl in the car that when Lydia walks over, the little girl rolls up the window, and that was the little girl.
Okay.
So that's kind of the fact that she was in there. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It's fun. Go check it out.
Good time.
We recommend it, and we recommend maybe if you're just finding the show for the first time that you check us out. You can listen to our full-blown hour and 30-minute review, scene by scene, of the original Beetlejuice. You can listen to what's coming out this week. Alien.
We release shows Mondays and Wednesdays. Full movie reviews on Wednesdays, and then Mondays is a little extra thing.
I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those of you that have been here, fucking love you.
Yeah. And those that haven't been here, next time you watch, you're gonna see a guy sitting in that chair.
Boom.
What do you think he would have thought of it, AJ?
What did he think of the original one?
Well,
we were all kind of high on it.
Let's look it up.
I think I was like an 8.2.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, you just re-released the Beetlejuice review in the feed, so you don't have to scroll all the way back. To
Okay,
the
so
beginning, right? You can
AJ was a 7.5, Sean was an 8, I was an 8.5 on the original. So AJ was the lowest. I think he would have not liked this movie.
I think he would have felt pretty much exactly the same as us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think he'd have been like, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Depends on the mood.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. If he was just like, I had a long day, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It wasn't spooky or anything, so I think he would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing right now.
What is he thinking about right now?
Probably thinking about the tomato meat. No, that's what he does. He just spends all of his time at home thinking about the way he's going to introduce the next tomato.
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
It's torture.
I think he comes up with it on the spot.
I think
as
so
I'm about
too,
to introduce it. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for being here, Logs, Upload Media Group in Cedar Rapids, uploadmediagroup.com. We're on Cloud 10 network.
Yeah.
Cloud10.fm. Learn more there. You check us out, confusedbreakfast.com.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I love you.